Let's face it, YouTube is hard. It can take a long time to see growth. You get mean, hateful comments, and it's hours and hours of hard work. So, just quit. Or is that just your anxiety speaking? Hello everybody, welcome to Mimosas with Mama. We're gonna get a better sign one of these days, I promise. Suki, say hi. You need a pupmosa, huh? She's making an appearance once again on the channel. This is a new little segment where I talk about things and drink mimosas. Would you like some, darling? Here, let me pour you a mimosa real quick. Oh, you don't drink? Alright, well, you can grab some water too, some coffee, whatever is your beverage of choice, and join me. As long as you keep the pinky out. Oh, and I'll probably answer some questions that you guys have, give out some advice. This is my new advice column, I suppose. I don't know. It's gonna be a variety of things. Maybe I'll have guests, maybe I'll sing, just kidding. But yeah, it's just gonna be a place for me to talk about things that I'm passionate about. And I'm gonna be posting little question things on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me already, what are you doing, brother? Go follow me. My name on there is @MamaSwole, the same as my name on here. But today, we're not talking about following me on Instagram. We're talking about following your dreams. Did you think that was clever? This can kind of go for anything, like any big goal that you have, but obviously the title of this is why you should quit YouTube, so I'm mainly gonna be talking about YouTube. But I think careers that are similar to that, like trying to be an artist, trying to be a singer, trying to be a comedian or an actor, they're all kind of in the same realm. Very creative and unique careers that require a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, and I feel like most people that are going for these careers go through the same things. So far, from what I've found, or more so not found, is people don't really talk about the struggles that you're gonna go through when you're trying to chase a dream like this. So I figured today I could talk about that a little bit and drink some mimosas with y'all. So the first thing I want to say is I feel like when you're going after a dream like this, a big dream, you're gonna have those moments where you wonder if you should quit. There's multiple reasons people go through this and start to ask themselves, should I quit? One of the first reasons I want to talk about is being scared of what people think. And you might be scared like, oh, what if people say this, or what if someone says that? But listen, baby, people are always gonna talk shit no matter what you do. You could sit in your house all day doing nothing, people are still gonna talk about you. You could be the best pianist in the whole world and someone out there is gonna say that you suck at piano. At the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what people think. All that matters is what you think of yourself, darling. When you catch yourself thinking that, a thought that starts with, what if they think this? Cut it off.
Turn it off.
Fuck what people think. Life is too short, man. So you can either live a life trying to please people, not doing what you want to do, not doing what makes you happy, and people talk about you, or you can live a life of fulfillment, doing what you love, doing what makes you happy, and people are still going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you either way. So why not just do what you love? You're the one that has to live this life at the end of the day. You're the one that goes to sleep with yourself. You're the one that wakes up with yourself. So take care of yourself, my love. If what you're doing makes you happy and doesn't hurt anybody and isn't hurting you, then nobody should care, but they still will. And if people do say shit, it's most likely because they're jealous. And we've all done it. Like, we've all said something about somebody before, so we can't take things so personal. And on top of that, once you get started, you might get some negative comments too. You might get some hate here and there, some haters. You just gotta take it with a grain of salt. Think of your favorite celebrity or your favorite influencer, or just like somebody that you really look up to. So, oh no, my side's falling. There we go. I'm gonna use Ariana Grande as an example because I love her. People say stuff about her all the time. If you search her name, I'm sure you could find somebody saying something bad or negative, but she doesn't let that stop her. And it's the same thing with whoever you look up to. Somebody out there is talking shit about them probably right now, but they keep going. And could you imagine how crushed you would be if, oh man, my sign keeps falling. Could you imagine how crushed you would be if your #1 idol quit what they were doing because of haters? Because people talking shit? That would suck, right? Wouldn't you be like so disappointed? If you keep going and doing what you're doing, you're gonna influence a lot of people. And I'm sure they would be crushed if you quit too. If you let people stop you, they're winning. People say negative things for different reasons. You may never even know why they say what they say, but hurt people hurt people. You ever heard that saying? So if somebody's hurting, and the other saying, misery loves company. So if somebody's hurting, they don't wanna see you succeeding. They don't wanna see other people happy. And that's sad, but that's why you just can't take it personal when, oh my God, there it goes. There it goes. We're just gonna keep going. So, where was I? What was I saying? Oh yeah, when you think of it like that, it's like you shouldn't let them make you feel bad. You should kind of feel bad for them because something's going on with them. I know it's easier said than done to not let this stuff get to you, but YouTube is like the only job that I can think of where whether you get a positive or a negative comment, it's still a comment. The algorithm doesn't see whether it's positive or negative. As far as I know, it just sees that there's comments on the video. So once you start making money, then the more comments you have, the more YouTube is pushing your video, the more money you make, honey. And that way, hate can kind of help you out too. And it's funny because people that hate other people and still watch their videos, like you're still giving them watch time. I don't know if people realize that. I don't think a lot of people know how YouTube works, but like it works by watch time. The more hours you have, the more money you can make. Whether somebody's hating you, they're still watching you, they're still giving you money in that bank account. So our time on this earth is very limited. Just imagine when you're 90, looking back and thinking like, damn, I wish I would have done all this. I wish I wouldn't have cared what people think. Life's too short to care so much. You deserve to be happy, unless you're an asshole. I'm just kidding. The next thing is YouTube seems like it takes forever to grow and finally get monetized and start making money and pay your bills. Wow, I'm getting really hot. Should I just take this off? Do I still look professional? I feel like with this generation, we are obsessed with instant gratification. Like you post a picture on Instagram and it gets likes immediately most of the time for most people. And then, you know, sometimes you feel like if it doesn't get enough likes, it's like, oh, should I delete it? Or with Amazon, you can order a package and get it the next day. There's no generation before us that's ever had this kind of instant gratification before. The problem is then with us, it's like we're so used to getting things right away that when things take time, we feel like they're never gonna happen. But they are gonna happen. If you quit, what makes you think you're gonna see results any faster? Time is gonna pass either way. With fitness, for example, 6 months will pass. So if you start, then at the end of 6 months, you're gonna have your dream body and you're gonna be so proud and happy. But if you don't start, then 6 months will still go by and you won't be happy and you won't have your dream body. You're gonna be in the same place you were 6 months ago, mentally and physically. Patience pays. And that is an original quote by me, I think. Actually, somebody else probably said it first. Patience pays off. And honestly, if it's something that you're passionate about, you're gonna stick with it no matter what, no matter who's watching you. And that's where true fulfillment comes from. No matter how many likes you're getting, no matter how many views, no matter how many subs, if you're putting out stuff that you love and you're proud of and you put like your absolute best into it, then that's gonna show. And eventually that's gonna pay off. Trust me. So another thing I wanna talk about is self-doubt. Now, I've never seen another YouTuber talk about this. Maybe some have. But when you're filming or you're editing or just working on your YouTube channel, you might have those moments where you're like, oh, does anyone care? Do I sound dumb? Am I explaining this right? I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is normal. Like, I do that too. So if you do this, you're not alone. And I'm pretty sure that every single other YouTuber has experienced this as well. I just don't think people talk about it very much. To me, like, that's all just anxiety. So anxiety is basically natural instinct. It wants to protect you. But unfortunately, it tends to try to talk us out of things that are gonna help us grow. Our brains hate uncertainty. So anything that's uncertain, our brain's like, oh no, we are not going there. But it doesn't understand that the results could potentially be so amazing and help us grow so much. Have you ever noticed that our brains instantly go to like the worst case scenario? Instead of thinking what if with the best case scenario, it's always what if with the worst case. It's so annoying, right? Like with YouTube, it could be the best case scenario. What if I help tons of people? What if I make so much money that I'm financially free and I can buy my dad a house? All these amazing things, right, could happen. But instead, our brain's like, what if you fail? It goes straight to the worst thing that could happen. So anytime you have a thought like that, shut that shit down real quick. Just say, fuck you. You're not gonna get in my head. If you're constantly doubting yourself, eventually you quit, you're never gonna reach your goals. So let's be real. YouTube does not make it easy for small YouTubers to grow. It's very challenging. But here's the thing, you can either bitch about it and say, oh my god, they make it difficult, they make it impossible, I'm never gonna grow. Or you can say, challenge accepted, YouTube. For me, I love a challenge, so I'm like, alright, let's go. It's all perspective. If in the future you're in a situation where you're thinking about quitting, I want you to do two things. I want you to write down your why. Why did you start doing this in the first place? The second thing, I want you to write down the risks versus the rewards. And And usually if your why is great enough and this is something you're truly passionate about, the rewards are always gonna outweigh the risk. When you see it written out on paper, it just makes a whole lot more sense, you know? It's all in front of you and it's clear that the reward is gonna be worth it. And yes, there may be risks. There's a risk in being alive, okay? No matter what you do, there's a risk. You could go on vacation and a coconut could fall on your head and that's how you go, buy a coconut. You were on vacation, like you weren't even doing anything that you perceived as risky. But yet, something that is more risky, you could go out and do that and everything's fine. Now I'm not saying don't go on vacation, but I'm just saying no matter what you do, there's always gonna be a risk. But that's what life's about. Life is about taking risks. So yeah, I kind of baited you in. But now that you're here, you love me, don't you? You might as well hit that subscribe button. I wanted to kind of flip the title of this video on its head because I feel like everybody goes through that point where they're like, I'm just gonna quit, like I'm just gonna give up. I just want to shed some more light on it so that you don't feel alone if you're going through that, or if you do in the future. I want you to know I think it's a normal thing that everybody goes through when they're on the path to success. It's said a lot of the times when people are about to hit that point where they're about to really succeed and take off, that's when they feel the biggest amount of resistance and the biggest amount of self-doubt, and when they just feel like giving up. So if you're feeling like that, it may be a pretty good chance that you're about to win. You're about to hit it big time. You're about to succeed. So stay with it. You got this, boo-boo. I'll see you all on the next one. Deuces.